Joining me this week, I'm gonna start over.
Ah, dang.
You gotta nail the intro.
We can fuck up 10 seconds in, it's fine.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to IGN Game Scoop. I'm your host, Damon Hatfield. Joining me this week is Dustin Javis.
Oh, Scoop.
Slarty Miva.
Whoa!
And Clam Saborn.
He sounds like a cool fantasy
racing. We've got a great show for you this week. A very stable show for you this week. No sliding of the camera.
We heard your cries, the gnashing of the teeth.
Yeah. We heard you.
The thing is, the wailing. The thing is that now we have to go back and forth the whole time. So it's a little bit more work.
We're going to do it very slowly and subtly.
Yeah, it's fun.
Screaming, and one man tore his shirt off and beat his chest.
So hot.
If you want to see what we're talking about, you can check it out on the Game Scoop YouTube channel.
The new home for Game Scoop on YouTube, youtube.com/GameScoop. For all of you audio podcast listeners, we would love to see you on there.
A new Nauseo vision.
It's true. Great show for this week. We got to talk about those toys to life.
No,
maybe they're toys to death now.
Oh no!
That term really snuck into our lexicon, didn't it?
Toys to life.
Yeah.
It's a very what a marketing term. I hate it when we get tricked into using.
I bet people that are listening don't even know what that means.
Marketing terms.
It means Skylanders, Disney Infinity, Lego Dimensions.
Amiibo.
We're going to talk about AAA action.
Ooh.
And what that means.
It's my favorite kind of action.
But first, we are less than a year away, I think, supposedly, from the launch of Nintendo NX.
March 2017.
Yeah.
Less than a year away, and EA, which claims it is the world's #1 publisher of Xbox One and PS4 games in the Western world, isn't even sure if they're going to make games for the system.
Oh, goodness gracious, Nintendo.
Not even sure about it.
Second worst, same as the first.
I think they just basically said nothing. I mean, they're gonna do what's best for their company. That's kind of what companies do.
The quote from EA says, "They will be there for the Nintendo NX, quote, if it makes sense."
Yeah, that's a tautology. It doesn't mean anything.
That's what my ex said about our relationship, and I've been very lonely.
What it tells me is like less than a year out, they don't have a game yet, right? So, like that's...
Yeah, but I mean, I feel like...
That's a good point. They won't have any launch games, likely.
I mean, that.
But remember what they did for Wii U? They ported a bunch of their launch games.
Which I think could totally happen. Like, we had Mass Effect 3 on the Wii U. We can see Andromeda.
Yeah, but it's like there was great... Like, the Mass Effect 3 port was awesome, and the Batman port was actually really good, too. But, like, you can't have year-old games.
Yeah.
You can't carry a system with
Assassin's
year-old
Creed,
games.
they did that, too.
Yeah, Assassin's Creed was pretty good, too.
Yeah, I mean, I think one of the things most of what we heard about NX has been rumors and speculation, but one of the big things have been that Nintendo is trying to create an architecture that is more welcoming to third parties than the Wii U was.
I hope so.
Something that seems to be more akin to the...
You'd think that's what everybody would be doing.
Yeah, you would hope so. So, honestly, I just think it's too early for EA to say, and I also think it's too early for a third party to... What are you doing?
I'll tell you after the show.
After the show?
Oh, this is going to be good.
Do I got, like, cream cheese up?
No.
And so I honestly do think that... I think there will be EA games at launch.
You think there will?
Yes. And I think it'll be cool.
Justin's still laughing at you.
What is happening?
I'll stop.
Do you have something to share with the rest of Game Scoop?
No, I'm fine. I'm sorry.
How about your soda? You want to share that?
I'll pull it together.
Have you been drinking?
I've heard this opinion shared before, and I pretty much agree with it at this point. That third party doesn't really mean a lot for Nintendo. They're a software developer.
Whoa. Sam's saying Nintendo isn't interested in third party support, right?
Yeah. They're a software developer that makes the most money off of selling their own software, first of all, which they make a ton of, and they also, of course, make a little bit of money off of hardware still, which is amazing.
Yeah. I don't know, man. Like, no one's going to buy that console without third-party support.
Well, no.
No one bought the Wii U.
No.
13 million people will buy it.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, maybe 10.
Yeah.
I don't know. Nintendo traditionally did have great third-party support, so it's only in like recent years.
Before third-party support even existed.
Yeah,
Oh, but not that recent. I mean, the N64, like, it's been kind of a problem. Like,
huge third-party support for NES and Super Nintendo.
Yeah.
Less so, but still quite significant for N64 and GameCube.
Yeah.
Huge third-party support for the Wii.
Yeah. I mean, GameCube had some amazing... Resident Evil 4 debuted on the GameCube, which is crazy to think of.
There's those
Beautiful
Capcom
Joe,
5.
too.
Yeah, Piano 3, Beautiful Joe.
Yeah, for sure.
You can't name any others.
But even though those are exclusives, like, I'm just talking about, like, you can't
Killer
have
7.
a console that's a success that doesn't have, Call of Duty and Assassin's Creed and Madden and FIFA and, like, all those things that people play video games on that appear on every platform. You can't have them appear everywhere except this one console.
I think every one of those games is going to be on NX. Every one of those games you just mentioned.
Hope so.
Let me take you back to 2011.
Hey, 2011.
When
Skyrim.
EA promised an unprecedented relationship with Nintendo and the Wii U. This relationship blossomed into a grand total of 4 games for the Wii U.
That was unprecedented.
Mass Effect 3, Need for Speed Most Wanted, FIFA 13, and Madden 13.
Wait,
that was it.
Well, what about 3DS and DS?
This is talking about the Wii U.
Wait, so
They didn't have
Madden
any 3DS
14,
games either.
15, 16 never came out for
They didn't
Wii U?
even bother porting their annualized sports games to the
They're
Wii U
still on
after that.
PS3, but not Wii
It's
U.
insane that something like Plants vs. Garden Warfare isn't on Wii U.
Yeah,
Plants vs. Zombies.
It's like a
vs.
family
Zombies?
shooter. That's they didn't bother porting it to a family system.
Oh, dang.
Yeah, but you can play Pocket Card Jockey. That's a
can
sports
play
game.
Oh man,
on
that
3DS.
game's so good. I
Not
played
on the
this
Wii U.
weekend.
We're not talking about 3DS. We're talking about Wii U. 3DS is fine.
Yeah, Pocket
Stay
Card
on
Jockey.
target.
Stay on target.
Here's Damie's worry.
You can name your horse.
This is a new
Damie's worry. Hashtag Damie's
This is a
worry.
new segment I'm piloting. Damie's worry that the NX just isn't going to have the third-party support that it needs, just like the Wii U didn't.
Yeah, that's my worry as well.
I think Nintendo's going to
It's
win for
not, it's not Justy's worry.
No, I share Damie's worry.
Okay, good.
Damie's worry for Justin is that the
Damie's
Wii U,
worry squared.
Yeah,
It's
guys
okay
made it.
though, because that won't affect all the great Nintendo games that they're still going to make for it.
Well, yeah. Hopefully there's enough of them, though. There aren't enough of them for the Wii U.
No.
So
Well, actually, I'd say there's enough Nintendo games for the Wii U.
you guys,
What is going on?
the giggle
I
sisters
think he's
over here.
flirting with
I'm
me.
not giggling.
He's flirting with me.
I think there's a whole conspiracy to make Marty more insecure at work, and
Marty's very insecure,
Justin's been
though.
planning this for a long time.
He's Andrew's the insecure one, not Marty.
Yeah,
I'm the alpha.
Not anymore.
He's the beta.
That's changing. It's changing with each giggle.
Yeah, also this week, EA does, when it released its financial report and announced that Battlefront had sold, 14 million copies. EA says it's the #1 publisher of Xbox One and PS4 games in the Western world.
Oh.
I don't know if that means based on number of copies sold, revenue, profit, but this is what they say.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely believe it with...
Yeah, me too.
Even over Activision Blizzard?
Yeah, but stuff, all the sports games, you have Battlefield, Battlefront, Titanfall, Plants vs. Zombies, BioWare.
Yeah.
It's a lot of stuff.
yeah.
Unraveled,
Unraveled.
So who is it in the Eastern Hemisphere? Like
Gung-Ho, or...
Activision Blizzard, maybe?
I don't know. It's-
the #1 publisher of Xbox One and PS4 games in the East?
Oh, I would imagine still EA. right?
Square, Capcom?
I mean, it might just be Sony.
Oh,
like-
with Monster Hunter? Except that game's not on.
Capcom, come on, Damon.
What was Monster Hunter?
Come on.
Come on.
Yeah, I mean, yes, Monster Hunter is a popular series, but think about it.
But it's a handheld. It's not
Size of
PS4,
EA
it's Xbox One.
compared to
Yeah, you're right. I stand corrected. Let it go, Marty. I already apologized.
The insecurity is rising.
You want to be on this podcast, Marty? Do you want to be on it?
Hey, speaking of the Wii U, GameScoop fan Mike Pruchik has been kind enough to share some codes for Wii U games.
Oh, dang.
He bought that humble Nintendo bundle, but apparently couldn't use these Wii U codes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 games.
Are you going to hold them up?
No, I'm going to
gonna
read
read
them
them?
out. I'm going to read out the code, but here's the thing. I'm not going to read the last character. There's a bit of a...
How long are these codes?
I'm gamifying it. They look like they're about 16 digits. So it's going to be fine.
This is like NBC in 2009.
It's going to be fine. What? Do you have a better way to give out these codes?
I'd hold them
think
up.
of
I'd hold them
several.
up. I'd hold them up to the screen.
And just let them try and magnify it?
What if we had some sort of web
doesn't help.
site to put them on?
That doesn't help the audio listeners.
Oh,
That's true.
Well, maybe they should go to youtube.com/GameScoop
Yeah.
and subscribe.
Probably should do that. This first game is for affordable space adventures.
He's going anyway.
Yes.
Damie's problem solved.
This is the plan. Affordable space adventures for Wii U. If you want to download this game for free, just take down this code. B0L8F3F C1WS8259, and you figure out the last digit. See, that wasn't so hard. Smart asses.
Just 11 of these to go.
I'm not gonna do them all at once.
Oh, was that it?
Yeah,
Oh.
we're done.
Oh.
Now we're moving on.
Oh, I legitimately thought you were going to do like 10 of those.
Is it time for 20 questions?
No, it's time for
Well then,
Toys to Death.
Twisted.
The Toys to Life genre has been toyed to death.
Oh, wow.
Disney Infinity has been canceled, and Disney is getting out of publishing games entirely.
Yeah.
Sad.
Yeah, it's actually a
Avalanche
sad
is
story.
being shut down. Not the Just
their
Cause
developer-
Avalanche, the other Avalanche.
Yeah, surely one has Avalanche Games and Avalanche Studios.
Studios and games.
Yeah, so there will be 2 more upcoming sets for Disney Infinity, including characters for Alice Through the Looking Glass and a Finding Dory playset in June. But no Rogue One playset. We're not going to get that.
Yeah, that's such a bummer.
But I think this opens the door to Lego Star Wars stuff appearing in Lego Dimensions.
In Marvel.
Yeah, so
Marvel.
that was going to be one of my questions. Do we think this will mean happy days for Skylanders and Lego Dimensions? There's less competition out there?
No, I think it's what is it, high tide raises all ships, that kind of thing. I think Disney pulling out of this is, I think, indicative of Toys to Life in general.
They're using what's called the pull and pray method.
That's about babies.
Yeah.
But I mean, Disney Infinity were the highest selling figures in the Toys to Life genre, and the
Really?
fact that they were the highest selling ones,
Yeah.
and that they went out of business, I think.
Well, they didn't go out of business. We don't know that.
I
For
mean,
some reason, it got shut down.
They pulled out of the business. And
yeah.
Well, I mean, I think so
maybe
Disney,
not for failings on
exactly. Like Disney is such a massive company. They own Marvel Comics, they own the Marvel Studios, they own Star Wars, they own ABC and ESPN. Like this is Disney. So someone at some executive level made a decision that the video game business just didn't make sense for Disney to be in that capacity. We don't want to be in the business of making and publishing our own games. We'll just let other people make Star Wars and Marvel's games. And my theory is that Disney Infinity could have totally been successful and profitable, but it got swept up
Totally.
as part of that bigger decision to, hey, let's just let EA make Star Wars games and someone else make Pixar games.
You have to imagine that Disney Infinity, it's such an ambitious game.
Yeah.
Like each game has like 7 studios working on it with Avalanche and Sumo and Ninja Theory, and these games are so much bigger and deeper than you would imagine from a game like this.
It was a very different beast than Skylanders.
Yeah, totally. Which is a bummer because Avalanche is like those games have gotten progressively better and better, and those games are a ton of fun. And to see hundreds of people get let go at Avalanche,
so like there's, it's understandable to feel bad about this, or think this is sad, or think this spells doom. But what if this is just an example of a smart business move? Maybe someone at number crunchers at Disney is just like, hey, this bubble's about to burst. We jumped in this industry for a few years. We made good money out of it. Now it's just time to get out.
Yeah, I mean that's entirely possible too.
I mean, I didn't get a chance to look up the stats before Scoop, but my hazy, fuzzy memory is that Skylander sales were down year over year.
Yes, I believe so.
They did. Yeah, they had some layoffs too.
Yeah, Toys R Us.
And it's still I think it's still going strong, and Skylander still sells and makes hundreds of millions of dollars. But I think that the peak of that series is over too. The thing that probably hasn't peaked yet is Amiibo, and who knows about Lego.
Yeah, I mean, Amiibo's interesting because it doesn't really have software production costs. Like, some Amiibo functionality is built into, as tertiary parts of different games, but there's no Amiibo game.
There's no Amiibo game. I think it's really interesting that there
was Amiibo Party.
There were 4.
That's true.
There were 4 Toys to Life products, and all 4 had like a credible claim to the throne.
4?
Yeah, with Lego.
There was Lego, Amiibo, Skylanders, and Disney Infinity.
Yeah.
So Disney Infinity had that, Disney brands that are, some of the biggest brands on Earth. But then Lego is obviously a hugely beloved and popular toy, and has that developer pedigree behind it. Skylanders was sort of the first comer and sort of established a scene, and then Nintendo was doing their unique thing with Amiibo. And like all 4, it's just not often that you see, like Guitar Hero and Rock Band are like 2 sides of the same coin. But I thought it was really interesting that Toys to Life had these 4 very different takes on the same thing, and all had like a credible claim to say that they were the reason that they were the one that should come out on top.
Yep.
Well, maybe we shouldn't be too surprised. Disney had already announced they won't be at E3.
Right.
So they were,
And they announced there was no Infinity 4.0.
or at least not this year. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. What about Amiibo? What is going on?
There's still Amiibo that haven't come out.
Yeah, there's still Cloud. Cloud still hasn't come out. I think
The thing is, like, they're tied to releases, as you were saying.
Oh,
Like,
not always.
I mean, there's like a new Animal Crossing game, so there's a bunch of new Animal Crossing.
What was the new Animal
figures.
Crossing game?
Happy Home Designer, and then,
but I don't think-
and then Animal Crossing Amiibo Festival.
That's true. There was Amiibo Festival.
I think the future of Amiibo is going to be pretty clear once we see what the NX is.
I think
And-
Amiibo is deeply baked into that console.
Yeah, or at least the what's it called, NFC, near field communication. And so if Nintendo wants to double down on this, and then maybe NX does launch with a proper Amiibo game, and it's like, hey, all those toys you've been collecting for 2 years, now you can put them in this cool game.
Which would be presumably like Skylanders or like
Yeah, in my mind, it's something like Skylanders.
like Infinity was really interesting because it actually you could scan in play areas and instead of just characters.
I feel like it would be somewhere in between the two of those in terms of ambition.
I mean, they've really only scratched the surface of what Amiibo could be. I also think they tested the limits with. I actually, for a long time, I collected every single Amiibo. I had all of them, and I still have 40 some on my desk. But then I got out of the scene when they announced all the obscure Animal Crossing ones. Like, I don't need the giraffe with the sewing machine Amiibo. Like, I don't, like, no one cares about that stuff. And I think it's based on nothing, but my conspiracy theory is that it was Nintendo testing how far can we really push this in terms of, like, obscure characters, stuff that's maybe not super desirable or in, like, the public eye. But, like, people will buy KK Slider and people will buy Tom Nook. But then they're like, let's release these other 8 just to see if we can get away with a really obscure, weird Amiibo.
Nintendo hasn't even really made its own Toys to Life game.
No, not yet.
Right? Like, not a game where the whole mechanic is putting an Amiibo on a platform and playing with them.
There's a lot of the board games have an integration like that, but like it's.
I like that
Mario
approach.
Party was really tied to Amiibo.
Yeah.
I like that you buy one figure and then it's going to do something for you in like 8 Nintendo games. I think that's super rad. Like that's a really clever and cool way to approach it. I think that the Animal Crossing stuff didn't work, and those are the Amiibo that you see like deeply discounted. Like you can buy them half off and stuff, and they're still trying to unload them, where other ones are still crazy rare.
Remember, it was back in 2010, maybe, when Disney canceled that very promising-looking Pirates of the Caribbean action RPG.
I'm out of the damned.
Yeah, it was like I had played it at preview events, and it seemed very far along, and it seemed really cool, and then they just canceled it.
Yep.
And that studio put out the Tron game. And then they closed down that studio, although their name escapes me.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about, yeah.
If you put a microchip inside a toy, they call it Toys to Life, and we have this new food machine here that has food with microchips inside of it, which is Food to Life.
Food to Life.
Food to Life.
I like that marriage of, I think Toys to Life is a really powerful thing. I don't think it's going to go away because I think the idea of, like, I have a little girl, I have a daughter, and she plays with little toys. The idea of her playing with a toy and using her imagination, but then later being able to interact with it in a television and, have it be this rich, interactive multimedia experience, but then still take it with her in the car or to the mall or to grandma's house or wherever and just play with it on the stairs or on the floor that's like a kid's dream, kind of.
You know who did that one? Connectimals.
Yeah, sort of. But they didn't have the figure.
They had plushes for Connectimals.
They have plushes? See, I only remember the digital versions. But that's like crazy cool. And like there's a version of that with, Captain America, these other characters that's just going to end up taking over the world, the world of children's world in another decade or so, I'm sure.
Sam.
Toys to VR.
Lay some Disney pinball knowledge on us.
Oh, there's so many.
Yeah? A lot of Disney.
We need more specific.
Really? The most recent one would be Tron Legacy.
That was a good table.
Yeah.
Had a cool.
And of course, I guess you want to count Marvel stuff, but I mean, there's
like Disney properties like Alice in Wonderland,
they didn't.
Mickey Mouse.
There's a lot
of Mickey
of
Mouse table.
No, there's a lot of animal there would be like fantasy games that like kind of look like Alice in Wonderland, but not the Disney one. Yeah, they're not. They're
Was there
definitely
Force
not
Awakens
involved. But Tron. No, not yet. But we suspect that somebody might have that license. And of course, there's Star Wars and Marvel stuff.
Of course. All right, who's a fan of AAA action? Anyone here?
No.
I am, Damon.
You are?
Yeah.
Like in real life?
Are you a fan of AAA action, Sam?
Just in general?
I like lowercase a action.
Hideo Kojima has given a few snippets of information about what his first game since leaving Konami will be like. And he says, I won't say it's an open world title, but those that enjoy playing today's AAA titles, such as The Division and Uncharted, will be able to play it smoothly.
Okay.
When it gets announced.
So one of those is an open world, the one is. That's pretty interesting.
Mixed message.
When it gets announced, some may think it's not as way out as they had expected, but I'm sure they'll understand once they play it, the genre is action.
Okay.
AAA action.
Okay.
Well, there you go. I guess the thing.
Do you think it'll have S rankings?
I hope so, man. The Japanese love their S rankings.
Yeah.
You think you're doing so well, I'm just A ranking everything. Then one mission you get an S.
Triple A.
And you say,
plus.
Now I got to go back and do these other 15 missions again.
What do you think the original thinking behind that was? Because in school, A+ is like the best you can get. And then what does S
I think
stand
schools
for?
have different things there.
I don't know, what does S stand
Superior, maybe? Is superb?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sumi my son. If you apologize to the game for being so good.
Maybe it's Super A.
Division, even though Division's open world and Uncharted's not, what those two have in common is that their core mechanic is shooting. That's the core way that you interact with the game.
Yeah.
And so I think that's what he's communicating. Metal Gear is not shooting; it's stealth and traversal and all of that. So I think he's indicating that it's probably going to be a very shooting-heavy experience.
More action than stealth.
Yeah.
I can get behind that.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, we don't know anything. But he has partnered with Sony.
Yeah.
This game, is that right?
Do you think it'll have eye patches?
Probably have eye patches.
100%.
He was talking a little bit more about the logo too.
Yeah, he says
The logo.
The logo of the studio.
for his studio
insane.
has a hint. It says some hint about what the game is.
And he's also like that head also has a body, and you're going to be surprised when you see what the body's like.
He said this?
Yeah.
What head?
Is it a dog body?
The logo is that head.
Oh,
It's
okay.
almost like a knight with a robot with a skeleton. And then he said that the logo also has a body. You'd be surprised. So I think it is a dog. I think it's that head on the body of a wiener dog.
Guys,
Yep, wiener
it's
dog.
clearly a two-legged mech of some sort.
All right.
It'll probably have mechs and it'll probably have eye patches. I
Most
think.
likely dogs.
And dogs, dags.
Dags?
What about e-cigars?
As long as I can vape in Hideo Kojima's next game, then I'm very happy.
80s vape,
Nation.
too. That was before vaping was even vaping.
Vape Nation.
Let's check in with the listeners.
Hey, listeners.
Listeners, remember you can always reach us
What's
at
up, Big Tony style?
email address, gamescoop@ign.com. Just like, sorry Sam, ruined your thunder, Big Tony style.
Oh, man, you just sent me on a roller coaster there.
That was great.
Big Tony Style says, with the recent release of the Infinite War, Call of Duty Infinite War, and Battlefield trailers,
Yep.
I find it fascinating how much attention game trailers get. We are at the point where there are release dates for a game's trailer. So my question is, with so much attention put on game trailers, what does one need to capture the attention of the Scoop crew?
Well, I'll tell you one thing, Damon.
Yeah.
I saw you tweet this out earlier today. Couldn't agree more. It's why we're friends.
Yeah, so
Sucking up.
yeah, I tweeted that.
It has to have
Specifically-
Godzilla in it?
Yeah, what I'm looking for a trailer is Godzilla. Specifically with indie games, what I want to see is gameplay right off the bat, because this happens a lot. People email us about,
Yeah.
hey, check out my indie game, and I'll go and check out their trailer. It's something I haven't never heard of.
Yeah.
I check out the trailer, and it's just like text,
There's
still image,
soft music
text.
playing, and you see a feather, and then
Still
some
image,
text fades
text.
in.
Like, what
Get
about-
out of
what am I
a
doing?
minute has gone by, and I have no idea what your game looks
What about
like.
Yeah.
Super Russian Roulette?
Oh, that's
See,
true.
that was a little
That
different.
was
The
a good
very
trailer.
first
It
thing
didn't
I
have much
do,
gameplay in
the
it.
very first thing I do on a YouTube trailer is skip to 30 seconds
Yeah,
in.
that's,
Are they
when
showing me what
that's
the
actually
game
when the
looks
gameplay
like
shows.
yet?
Go right to the gameplay. Something like Enter the Gungeon. The moment, the split second I see that game, I know I want to play it.
Yeah.
So just show me the game. Anyway, he's talking about big, I think more like AAA trailers. Like
I want to hear more
Call
covers
Duties.
of David Bowie songs.
I want to hear fewer covers of David Bowie songs.
Fewer
Both
covers
sides
of
of
anything.
that.
Contemporary covers that are a little bit more rockin'.
Yeah.
Don't like that.
Yeah, it's interesting.
But they're cheaper to license than the original.
Oh, yeah, I guess you can only play that. What is it called? The technical license?
The juxtaposition between how people reacted to the Battlefield reveal trailer compared to how they reacted to the Call of Duty trailer is insane.
Yeah.
And I completely agree. I think the Call of Duty trailer was too long. I think the first half was sort of boring.
Yeah.
And the second half I thought was pretty cool in space. Whereas the Battlefield trailer was much shorter and I think did a much better job of showing me a little bit and then making me want more.
Yeah.
Like, because it was in engine, but it wasn't, they didn't show like what the actual game is going
You
to
have to
look like.
tease
when
things.
you're
It's like,
playing
look
it.
at this train, look at that horse. What
I
does
was like,
that
that
mean?
looks amazing. That looks cool.
Yeah.
That flamethrower looks cool. That trench looks cool. And so,
Look at that shovel.
yeah, I left at E3. I want to play. If I had only had time to play one of them, I want to play Battlefield.
Remember that Halo 5 trailer that had nothing to do with Halo 5?
Yeah.
The one in the.
It was like
the-
Master
with-
Chief is walking in
He's
the
wearing a
desert,
poncho
and then there's
over
like a
his
giant-
armor.
That was before they had a game. He was like, this will happen.
That's what
Yeah.
I like my trailers to be like.
A good trailer needs to evoke it, needs to plant an idea in your brain without like showing you the whole thing. Like if you were to have a Star Wars game and you show like one shot of Hoth, you're like, oh man, we're going to Hoth, but I don't need to see like 30 seconds of you on Hoth. Now that's how you build hype, and then you have something to build on later when you show the game off in more detail.
I was just watching Raiders of the Lost Ark last weekend, and then I watched the original theatrical trailer. And theatrical trailers back then basically
great.
just took like every 10 minutes just a clip from the movie and just strung them back to back
Yeah.
and just tell the story.
Yeah.
And by the end of it, it's like Indiana Jones fights the Nazis and melts their faces, and then it shows it. It's like then they put the Ark away stay in a room forever. Who's working on it? Top men.
Yeah, people complain about trailers giving away the movies now, but like it was the same or if not worse 50 years ago.
Oh, it was just the worst. It was absolutely
70s movie
everything
trailers
given
are
away.
incredible. And I cannot believe you said 50 years ago, and I was about to correct you, but yeah, 40 years ago. That's depressing.
Even like trailers for like horror movies, like the trailer for The Blob in the 50s tells the entire arc of that story.
Which is a great story arc. Blob eats stuff.
And then gets frozen at the end, gets shipped off to the Antarctic.
Yeah.
Spoilers.
What a great movie.
I would say in general, I don't get excited for video game trailers very often, just because for AAA games they rarely show gameplay. There's actually the way the marketing schedule for a game goes. Their debut trailer is just like a cinematic trailer.
Yeah.
And then farther down the line, there will be a gameplay trailer.
Yeah.
They call it a gameplay trailer because it actually shows gameplay. It's
Yeah.
like, well, this is...
Well, the first one sets the mood.
Yeah.
People really like the cinematic trailers, though, and some of them really stand out, like the Dead Island one.
The Island one, there was a Division one from a couple years ago at E3
Yeah.
where it was showing how the world was changing without the characters in it.
If they fell off in later years, but the Assassin's Creed trailers always used to be so incredible and just great mood pieces with great music choices.
I thought the Syndicate reveal trailer was really good.
If you get mad at cinematic
Syndicate,
trailers,
wow.
think about the live-action cinematic trailers.
Okay.
Those don't tell you anything about the game.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, Call of Duty does that a lot, right? They hire like celebrities
Halo
or
used to do
comedians or models to like just be in their live action
I
commercial.
want more playable
Yeah.
trailers, like
Playable
the video
trailers.
game PT.
PT.
Yes.
That was
Oh,
cool.
I thought you were joking, but you were being
Oh no!
serious.
Yeah, I thought that was really cool. Like, very few games can do that, but I think as a means
Well,
of
it worked for that game, right?
well, as a means of revealing and hyping up a product, I don't think anything's been as effective as
That day in the office was insane.
I remember
Yeah,
I was in
it was.
Gamescom at the time, and I went to bed, and then I woke up, and I went to bed, and the email chain was like,
everyone's screaming.
"Hey, we're gonna start playing PT," and I woke up, and it was just like Silent Hills, and I'm like, "What happened? How long have I been asleep?"
Okay, wait, back up. What happened? That's the email thread where you're like, I need to go back and read all these. I can't just
Something
skim.
big happens every time I go abroad.
But it was crazy because I think it was John Ryan was the first one. We couldn't figure out. No one on the internet knew how to beat the trick. 'Cause
Yeah,
it's all this
he got
obscure.
through it all.
And then we're like, he's like, what?
And then it shows the guy from The Walking Dead at the
Yeah.
end.
Yeah,
What is going on? Is this Walking Dead? It's Silent Hill. What?
I'm really excited for Silent Hills.
That's bad news, Marty.
Uh-oh. Is there a feature on the site I should read?
Here's a code for Shantae and the Pirates.
That game is great.
It is great.
So we're gonna give away a great game. Be stoked about it. Shantae and the Pirate's Curse for Wii U. Here's a code for it: B0L7T9QXFDX9FH1. You guess the last character.
And now it's time for Video Game 20 questions.
And now it's time for Video Game 20 questions.
I like the idea that Damon was planning on reading off all those codes, but then we like beat him into submission.
But then he's like, "Oh, I got him back around. They all love that segment. I'm gonna throw in more."
Yeah.
Craig used to do that on NBC back in like 2010. He'd read off these codes, and Scott Bromley and I and Jack would shout out numbers and letters during it to gamify it.
You're right.
Oh,
And,
yeah.
and Craig would get furious.
Yeah, he doesn't like you.
So if you're listening, Craig,
He's not.
Oh,
A,
he's definitely not listening.
27, 64.
Our Video Game 20 questions suggestion this week comes from Gabriel. The
Gabriel.
guessing may begin
Gabriel Knight?
now.
I think it's Pokemon Gold.
Should we ask it if it has angels in it?
Nah.
That's a Gabriel joke. 'Cause Gabriel is an angel.
In this game, do you jump? Is there jumping in this game?
There's not a jump button. I'll say that.
Oh, dang.
I bet it's Zelda.
I bet it's Zelda 2. Not Zelda 2, Zelda also.
Right.
Could be
Is
Zelda 2.
was this game released before?
Except that has jumping in it.
Before. Yeah, that's the only one it can't be.
the only one.
And Link's Awakening. Was this game released before
You get the cake, right?
January 1st, 2000?
Yes.
Before January 1st, oh, sorry, your turn.
You can ask it.
January 1st, 1990.
I'll take the back 5 questions.
You're asking if it was
15
released
to-
before January 1st, 1990?
Yeah.
No.
We got a 90s game. Only 90s kids.
How great would it be if the person that wrote in chose a game that was released on January 1st?
Oh,
You gotta find one of those.
that'd be a dingus. Was this game on the Super Nintendo?
No.
Man, thought we had it.
Was this game of the PlayStation and Nintendo 64 generation?
No.
Dang. Wait.
It's probably a Genesis.
5
game,
questions.
Or it could be
Genesis, PC, or
could be
Game Boy.
Dreamcast.
Late Dreamcast. I don't know. What's the best way to narrow this down without burning a bunch of questions?
I guess pre-19. No, that doesn't work.
Was this a Genesis game?
No.
Crap.
Was this a
Console or
handheld
handheld,
game?
yeah.
No.
So yeah,
It's a-
maybe Dreamcast,
okay.
1999
Could be
Dreamcast,
PC.
or PC.
Does this game have sequels?
Yes.
This game, PC game.
Yes.
There we go. Took us too long, but
mean,
we got there.
So the thing that comes to mind is Doom, but Doom released on Super Nintendo.
What are the things that brought you to do? Have no jump button and it's on PC?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, and what was your first question? That was a jump. F.
Is this game in 3D?
Whoa.
No.
Is Doom in 3D?
Yeah.
That's 10.
Would you call Doom a 3D game?
No.
That doesn't count as a
sideways.
question.
You're
We
right.
just
No,
wanna-
I know, yeah. I would probably say, yeah, you're moving in a 3D space. Yeah.
Sure.
So wait, did you say yes or no?
I said this game is not 3D.
But he said, man, no.
2D PC
Definitely.
game with no jump button.
I mean, it could be a strategy game.
Yeah. And it got
like
sequels.
SimCity.
So StarCraft.
Yeah.
Yeah, StarCraft, SimCity. No, it's not
Is it
SimCity.
a strategy game?
No.
Okay. So that wipes out
This
that
could
whole thing.
be.
Yeah.
This could be Diablo. Is this? I'm just
dungeon
going straight up.
crawl.
Is this a Blizzard game?
No.
Wow, that was
Sorry.
specific.
Yeah, but that could have been StarCraft or. Diablo.
No, but we knew it
Weird.
wasn't a
Just-
strategy game.
Just eliminated it.
Boss Vikings.
That was on
Is this game rock and roll?
So it has sequels.
Yeah.
It's a PC game from the 90s. It's
Yeah.
not SimCity.
It's not a strategy game.
Not a strategy game, not a Blizzard game. You don't jump. Well, you maybe jump, but not with a button.
Yeah, I mean, it could be an action game. Should we ask about setting?
What about
like
first person?
swords or guns type stuff?
Is the developer still in business?
No.
Oh, dang.
But it had sequels.
That's interesting. So
We don't have a perspective yet.
no, but we
I mean,
know
you
we
said
know it's 2D. Yeah,
I'll let you.
I don't know. It's either 2D or it's 2D.
yeah. I know. I'm with you.
Should we ask if it's sci-fi or fantasy?
Like commanding. Well, but it's not strategy. Yeah, I would narrow that. Yeah.
Is it a sci-fi game?
No.
Is it a fantasy game?
Are you talking, what kind of fantasy you're talking about?
You tell me.
Are you,
David.
are you asking if it's like a Lord of the Rings style fantasy game?
Yeah, because that's the kind of like dungeon crawler, like Diablo stuff that I would
It's
call
not.
fantasy. Okay.
That's 15.
But it has another type of fantasy. He wouldn't have asked
Well,
that
it's ima-
question. He wouldn't
it's
have asked that
imaginary.
question if it was GTA.
Hey, this could be a LucasArts. This could be an adventure game. Point and click
Oh, this
adventure
could
game.
totally be a point and click adventure game.
Is this a adventure game?
Yes.
Ooh.
Nailed it.
So is that
Okay, so we
leaves
got
us
four
with,
questions.
that leaves us with like Monkey Island,
And the company's not around.
and there are sequels.
Oh yeah, so it's LucasArts.
Yeah, it's
'Cause
probably Day
company's
of the
not around.
Tentacle.
Day of the
Day
Tentacle.
of the Tentacle
That's kinda
or
3D-ish.
Monkey Island.
Yeah.
Not Full Throttle, not.
Yeah. Not Grim Fandango.
Oh,
I mean,
so
should we
wait, if
narrow it
it's-
down to LucasArts?
If it's fantasy,
'Cause we
no,
can
it's
get it from
definitely
LucasArts.
going to be Monkey
definitely-
Island, just the way he based his fantasy.
Well, it's
into
not sci-fi, so it's not Day of the Tentacle.
it. Yeah. Is this game about pirates?
Yes.
Sweet.
It-
Let's go with.
is this the first game in a series?
Yes.
Okay.
Let's go with a boy in his blob.
Does this game have jelly beans?
No.
They're not jelly beans. in Escape from Monkey.
He didn't count it. We got a freebie. We finally got a freebie.
Are you going to
out of
guess the
it.
game?
Is the game Escape from Monkey Island?
No,
No, the
Oh.
first Monkey Island. Is that
No, that's not what
Escape?
it's called.
no.
What's
What
the
is it
first
called?
one?
What is it called? Justin, this is all on you.
No, it's not on me.
Yes, it is.
Why?
Sam and I can't answer.
Why? What? Yeah, you can. I don't remember
too
the name of the first
insecure
one.
to
I thought
answer.
the first one was Escape. Is Escape the sequel? Oh, The Curse. The Curse of Monkey Island.
Wait,
I don't think the first one is called The Curse of Monkey Island.
it's the okay.
It's Monkey Island 1.
What's the name?
It's either Escape or Curse. Why am I not able to think of it?
I don't know. I've never played these games. Could it be a monkey ball?
It's not.
Wait,
It's not called Escape From. That wasn't ever the name of a Monkey Island game.
wasn't it?
Am I thinking of Escape from LA?
This game is the first word of this game.
Well, this is a new
Another
problem.
word for a spell that you'd put on.
I'm not letting him get us. I'm not letting him allow us to lose on a technicality. The first Monkey Island game, Monkey Island 1.
Secret of Monkey Island.
Yes.
Yes. Woo! What's Escape from Monkey Island?
That's one of them, isn't it?
I don't think so.
Is that like the third or fourth
Great.
one?
That was
The
good.
Secret of
moment.
Monkey Island.
No,
yes.
it's Tales of Monkey Island.
And it was a
No, those are the
1990
Telltale
game.
ones.
Ooh.
So you were right on the cusp there.
That was good.
And it wasn't apparently LucasArts, it was Lucasfilm Games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Before it was LucasArts,
Oh, wow.
I guess.
Yeah, we ran into that the other day.
Man, we got down to the wire on that one.
Well,
Yeah.
I mean, but we had it honed in around 16.
Oh, did we?
Yeah.
We couldn't even think of the name of the game.
Yeah, but I
You
mean,
got there.
I would have filed an official protest.
You would have.
With the commissioner if you would have given that
Did we
to
do 20
us.
questions on why you were laughing at me earlier?
Once the show ends.
Okay. Before we go this week, what are we playing?
I just finished Uncharted 4.
Yep.
Thought it was incredible. It's my second favorite game of this generation.
After The Witness.
After The Witness. And I'm not going to go into detail because
You can't spell Uncharted without chunt.
That's true. Chunks up with that.
I never realized
with
that.
The ending I found immensely satisfying and just really, really excellent. And that specifically, like the whole game was great, but it ends on such a high note that I was very happy.
Also, topically, I don't think this is a spoiler, there's a Monkey Island reference, Easter egg.
Ooh, I don't think I caught
We're going to have to bleep that out. Such a spoiler.
And so now that I finished that, I don't know what I'm going to start. I'll play more Pocket Jockey, I guess.
Yeah.
Pocket Jockey.
Pocket Card Jockey.
Yeah, Pocket
Yeah,
Card Jockey.
I also finished Uncharted. I think it's a really great game. I think it's the most gorgeous console game ever made. I think the acting's incredible. I
Maybe
think
the
the writing's
most gorgeous
incredible.
game ever made. I mean,
Yeah,
is it
I mean-
prettier than any PC games you
I
played
don't know, there's
recently?
some terrifying piece. I saw something running in 4K that was probably the prettiest thing.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
PC is
okay.
weird because there's stuff that's technically just like you don't even understand how it's possible, but just artistically and just the vistas that you're seeing,
Yeah.
it's incredible.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I liked it a lot. And I'm excited. I'm going to play Doom this weekend.
Oh, yeah, good.
Oh, we're all going to play Doom this weekend. It's out on Friday.
On a Friday. We're getting it Friday.
That's so weird. It's out at midnight on Friday.
Yeah, I'm inadvertently hyped for that game. Like, they didn't show us anything because
Yeah.
of all those cinematic trailers.
Yeah.
And then now it looks really cool. I've been playing Uncharted as well and Pocket Card Jockey. I really like Uncharted. I think the conversations are the boring adult things I want to hear now.
I am also playing.
Though I don't
Uncharted.
mind hearing those conversations over vintage PS1 games.
Yeah, I think that. I mean, I don't know if that's a spoiler at this point either, but I just think the
It's
game
in the
is.
first 2 hours of the game.
It's very clever. It's very fun.
Yeah.
It's really smart. Beautiful, like you said.
Yeah.
I'm in like chapter 5. And
I thought I wouldn't like Drake's brother's character Sam from the trailers and from everything I saw in preview, but the way they develop him, he's totally likable
His
and understandable.
characterization's great, and the characterization
And
of the
also-
villains is fantastic, and the acting is incredible.
Yeah. And also the writing and then the performances by
Yep.
It's on
folks like
par
Troy
with
Baker
like a
and Laura Bailey.
Netflix series of this era right
Yeah.
now. It's so well put together and acted. And then I really like the tense scene of an auction, which you should play it just for that.
Yeah.
There's this funny twist on like this auction going on. And it makes you feel really tense for this stupid little action sequence. It's really great.
Yeah.
Yeah. I wonder
You haven't gotten there
I wonder
yet.
what happens
Yeah,
if you
yeah.
fail that.
It's really funny. Miranda was playing with it and she talked to me about it.
Interesting.
Was that the butt touching thing?
I'll tell you about it after the podcast.
Okay.
we're going to give away one more Wii U game, but I'm going to let you guys participate. Should we give away a code for Freedom Planet, Swords and Soldiers
I don't know if
2,
that is.
or
No.
Runbow?
Are those three
Rumbo.
games? Rumbo's the only one I know.
Freedom Planet.
You say. We got 2 votes for Runbow and 1 vote for Freedom Planet.
You got Runbowed.
Because it's mostly the word rainbow, which
Runbow
likes
is for
rainbows.
truth.
Here's a code for Runbow on Wii, which I think is like a 9-player multiplayer game,
Yeah.
something like that. 10
insane.
players.
That doesn't sound right.
It is true. The code is B0LPFH432B7YJS4. You guess the last character.
Wait, was you a letter or was you a call?
I don't know. I don't know.
Is the
Yeah,
character
you.
set like A through Z and 1 through 10 for? Or
Oh
1
yeah,
through
I guess
9
I
through
should.
9?
It is only gonna be a
0
letter.
through 9.
It's only a letter or a number for all
Okay.
those. Yeah. Happy hunting. No. Good hunting. I've been watching Battlestar. They don't say happy hunting. That is all the scoops we have for you this week. If you haven't subscribed to the new GameScoop YouTube channel yet, make sure you do so. YouTube.com/GameScoop. Thank you, Dustin. Thank you, Slarty. Thank you, Clam. My name is David. This is IJ GameScoop, and we're out.
Damie.
Slarty sounds so gross.
Slarty.